It's the Riot. Hi. This is a podcast.
Hey, let's have some more enthusiasm. It's Friday. This isn't This isn't any other podcast. It's a special one today because you made it it is Friday, right? Yeah, you made it the whole week.
We did. And you know what? I did make it the whole week. I did it, guys. 5 days in the studio.
Yes.
One of them was even fundraising.
You did a big thing this week.
Come on. Man, I didn't put it in the podcast, but I did pretty well. But, dude, yesterday.
You got real tired.
Oh, my gosh. I got, hilariously tired. I can't live tired. I did eventually recover, kind of. I mean, I'm here.
Yeah.
But, man.
Well, just rest this weekend.
Yesterday was crazy.
Let's just say that to everybody else, too. You guys all just rest this weekend.
Get some rest.
Watch some shows, watch a movie, play a game, eat some good food. Just, have a good weekend.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
Today in the show, we talk about Google Fiber, the Baconator.
Yeah, that makes a reappearance.
It does. HBO Max and their big announcement, which I realized to them, they're every time they say something like, we have a new animated show for kids.
That was actually a big announcement.
That's something that kind of has some far-reaching consequences. A heating vest, a PS5 air filter, the monolith, the YouTube. So, there's stuff.
The YouTube in comments.
They want to talk to you about your comments.
Make sure you say hey, nice comments. We love to talk with you guys. You can join us at RadioU Riot. That's our Facebook page. You can message and make sure you're following us there. And check out, if you want to text, you just text 877 to RadioU. Text that you're a podcast listener and make sure you put your name so we can tag you with that. And, send us if you find a story this weekend you want us to talk about on Monday.
All right. Anything else?
Have a wonderful weekend doing nothing. Unless
good.
You have to do something, then get it done and then do nothing.
And then do nothing. All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I mentioned it in passing moments ago, but yesterday I had the Baconator, the breakfast Baconator from Wendy's. Now, they've got a thing going where all month long you can, with purchase. So you have to buy something. So I bought a soda.
Yeah.
And you get a quote-unquote free breakfast Baconator.
And the door's open for that? Was it what you wanted it all to be?
It is overwhelming.
Sure.
Quite frankly, it's, first off, delicious. But I mean, the number of flavors and the richness involved. I actually had them not put the Swiss cheese sauce on it because I was like, you know what,
we're having trouble staying awake. We can't, put a brick in there.
It's too much.
It's too much to handle.
So it's bacon, eggs, sausage, and a slice of cheese on a bun.
Well, we were joking.
Unreal how good it is.
Would Obi be able to, count down to Christmas? Because I think they're having this until, is it the 24th?
No, it's like the 27th or the 28th.
Okay, so it goes even after, but... can you manage to try to get a free Baconator every day? Because you always usually get a soda anyways from someplace every day. So why not get a sandwich?
Not every day. Sometimes there's a 2-liter in there.
I'm talking in the future. This is future, Nikki, as we get closer to Christmas. And, things just happen. It's the holidays.
I hear you.
But I think, I'm wondering if anybody else is going to try to get one every day.
I don't know, but it's tempting and it's delicious. But it was just one of those things where I was eating it and I thought, this is too much for me to handle. It's like it's from, it might actually be, okay, it might be from heaven. You're already dead, so you can't be deader, and you're free to eat as you please. But here on earth, unless I am rushing to meet my eternal resting place.
You want to make that faster.
I probably should not be eating this because someone has left it here from the eternal plane. And... dang.
Well, maybe we'll see then. Give us the ratio by the end of next week. Are we doing twice a week, 1 a week, 3 a week?
Well, I'll tell you this. As of right
now. Will you
now,
never go back?
I can't go back today. I can't. No.
This is early morning. Obi's saying this, though it might change later in the day.
Well, my only hope is that if I check back into the podcast and I hear this, it'll be a strong reminder to me.
Not to do it.
Hey, guy. We got to rein it in.
But listen, if you do, then there's no guilt for future Obi as well.
You know what?
You're just doing what you got to do.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Nikki, I've had a dream.
Yeah.
And that dream has been to get Google Fiber and experience 1 gigabit per second internet.
Has it happened?
It has not. Now, I did find out that in my neighborhood, I can now get 1 gig down.
Yeah.
It is significantly more expensive than what I am paying now. I mean, it's not like, hey, would you like an extra $20 more on top of? No, it's way past that. And so after, a risk reward assessment, I had to say, no. You're still, what you're using is still fine. It's good enough. It's not as flashy, but it's still fine. The other thing is my internet service provider has yet to provide me my paid for speed. Yeah. I run speed tests all the time just to see, and it's like, nope. So I'm paying for up to 400 megabits, which is, 40% of gigabit, but they never hit it.
I just think there's so much traffic, more than there used to be at one time, that in your neighborhood, it's just really hard to get your speed because everybody else is doing something on there.
Well, if you live in Huntsville or Nashville.
So Huntsville, Alabama?
Nashville, Tennessee.
What are they getting?
They're getting the new Google Fiber.
Yeah.
Which is 2 gigabits per second.
It's not fair. You better appreciate it wherever you're at getting that. Do you understand?
1 was not enough, you see.
Now you get 2.
They needed a little extra, so they have doubled their bandwidth.
And how much does that even cost them?
I have no idea.
Is it free? Is it cheaper than what we pay? It's probably cheaper.
It's $100 a month.
Oh, I would totally pay that. I absolutely would pay that.
I'm paying like 80 or 90 now.
Because, you pay that much?
Yep.
Oh, that's too bad.
So I paid less. And, when I was working from home, I had to increase my bandwidth.
Yeah.
I'm even now thinking about got to take away some of that.
You got to move it back down.
Yeah, because it's kind of a lot. But
that is so unfair. Come on, why can't we get fiber everywhere?
I don't even care. I don't need it to go everywhere. I just want it to come to my house.
I know, but you are farther out. It would be like our city area and not you. So you do want it to go to every place.
I was looking forward to. There was a cable / internet service provider company that was supposed to come to my neighborhood this year, but no, COVID. So they shut that.
They shut that down.
They did. It's weird the stuff this year where you're like, we were going to, but COVID.
Yeah,
it's like I was going to get different internet. Nah. Nah.
You're happy for other people. That's us.
Not that happy for
That's
them.
us growing as individuals.
Okay. All right.
We're supposed to be happy. So if you're in those areas, or if you already have Google Fiber, maybe not the 2.
Good for you, I guess.
That's good for you, and one day we'll all be able to enjoy it.
2 gig down.
Man, that's something. We just need more in our areas. We need more competition for the company.
Come on.
Or the companies that are in our area so that they start giving us a bit better of a deal.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, they're like, you're not, it's not a monopoly. You're free to use dial-up anytime you want.
Now, Andy said some of us want better than DSL, average 1 to 3 down. Aww.
1 to 3 meg. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what, Andy? You're right. It does suck to be you.
Let's be thankful.
It does.
I bet one day we shall also be thinking of you and in your area that you get better too.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
It's hard for Nikki and I to do good news because we don't know how to not throw in something.
Like we were talking about this area in Alabama and in Nashville getting this new amazing Google Fiber, and that could have been good news, but we throw in how mad we don't get it.
Nikki, here's some good news. You ready? Palma School. It's a prep school in Salinas, California.
Yeah.
They created a partnership with correctional training facility at Soledad State Prison. So here's the idea. Got a bunch of guys in prison, and this local high school, they created a program called Exercises in Empathy, where they go and they have people that were given life sentences that they discuss themes found in literature with students. And so
the students go into the jail or virtually or something?
I believe they physically go in there and they basically read literature together.
Oh, that's a great idea.
To get different perspectives or whatever. It's It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So it has meant an enormous amount to the inmates there. And so they decided they wanted to figure out a way to give back. And so they reached out to the school and just said, look, is there someone at school that's struggling to pay tuition? And they said, yeah, we have somebody. And they raised $30,000 from inside the prison.
The inmates did?
Yes.
Wow.
To help pay for this guy's tuition.
Oh, what a nice thing. That
Isn't that
is
amazing?
a good story.
It is amazing.
Look at that.
So inmates can make money in prison.
Sure.
One of them donated his entire paycheck for a month to the student in need.
That
So
shows you how impacting the students being there to read and with them and discuss literature actually was on all of them.
Yeah. And just, that's another thing to think about for some of those guys in prison. They don't get a chance to give back.
Sure.
Like that. And so this has given them a chance to do something to help. And you know what? I think it's awesome.
Good.
So I have no
nothing
comments.
to add.
I just want you to know that in a world where things seem bad all the time,
Sure.
here's something good.
Oh, yay. It's really sweet.
That's all.
I'm proud of you too,
I don't even know how to get out of it.
Because it's so nice, and that's it.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I didn't want it to happen. Okay, I didn't want it to happen. I wanted to remain on the outside looking in. In fact, I had decided I wasn't going to look in. Like, don't even look in there. Because if you look in there, you're going to want to go in there.
But you can't help it.
So stay outside the window. Focus on what's important. Nikki, I really want The Lord of the Rings in 4K.
Oh, I know you do. Did it come out yet, or is it still before Christmas?
It came out this week.
Oh, how much is it?
I really want The Lord of the Rings in 4K.
Listen, it can't shock us, okay?
Is
it $100?
It's $90.
$90 is not bad for all. I mean, for all of the Lord of the Rings.
The theatrical releases.
Yeah.
You get the extended releases.
Don't you get the Hobbit stuff?
No, that you got to buy separately, and who would want that trash?
So you're not tempted for that. Look at that. You don't want that. You're saving money.
Not an ounce of temptation.
Aww.
But the more I have read about them, I'm like, oh.
Because you want the behind the scenes stuff, or just because the quality is so nice?
No, reading the description of the image restoration they have done is just, man, I'm telling you, it's sweet music to my ears.
Well, why don't you wait? I'm sure you'll get gift cards for Christmas. You just put those all together.
I think that's what I'm going to do. Last night, I came to that conclusion. I was like, okay, listen, nobody's going to buy you a $90 Christmas present. It's too much. But there's going to be gift cards floating around. And you're going to have a week off at Christmas.
That'll be perfect. You don't need it now. You got a lot of stuff going on now.
Yeah. But, after Christmas, could really be something.
Would it help tide you over if you just watched it in, not that definition?
Well, I thought about that. And then I was like, if I went home and watched all my Blu-rays, I would probably be like, I don't need this.
You won't want it anymore? You just want to wait?
So I'm going to create an artificial need for a way too expensive item for Christmas.
Why don't you just sell your Blu-rays then, too?
I don't imagine they're worth anything. I got the Lord of the Rings, and this is what I actually should do. This is what I should do. Is I didn't buy those extended edition Blu-rays when they came out. I just waited. And eventually, I don't know how much they cost when they came out, but I bought the whole set for $25.
Sure. I guarantee you next June or July, this version of the Lord of the Rings stuff would be way cheaper.
Next Black Friday, it'd be like half price.
They're like,
if
can
you're
we
lucky.
pay you to take it?
Okay.
Please?
10 cents.
It's like when you get, it's free, but you just have to pay a little shipping.
Yep.
Well, don't feel bad if you want them.
That's the smart play.
At least you want something. There's something you got your eye on, but I don't think you need to buy them now.
No, not buying them now. Not. I did add them to my Christmas list, and felt bad about it a little.
Why?
I don't know why.
What's this guilt? Shake it off. Just be free of it.
You know what would your therapist say? It's false guilt.
I know. Where's this narrative coming from with this? You deserve this.
I can't go that far. I don't know about deserve. I think deserve is too far.
There, how about you say you would enjoy this?
Boy,
this
I would.
This would bring some enjoyment to your life.
I do like it. That'd be something.
What I really think you need is, I wish there was just a place you could just borrow one.
I know.
Or just rent it, because I think you just want to watch it to get it out of your system, but you're not going to like go and rewatch it all the time.
You can't. That is the thing about 4K Blu-ray. It's a total collector's market. You can't borrow. You can't rent. You can't anything. It's like you buy it or you don't get it.
Sure.
That's it. So, you know what? Christmas is coming, little guy.
Just wait a little bit longer. I'm sure you'll have it.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I've recently come into my own yacht. Maybe you've heard of it, the Superyacht 2.
You did get that, I was wondering.
And it has an IMAX theater in it. And
so now you can go to the theater again.
My thought was I could go ahead and I could drop those 4K Blu-rays in and we could watch them there in the IMAX.
Man, that's a really nice yacht. Is that a real one or is that a rendering?
Doesn't that look like just a little model?
Doesn't
it's like
it?
in somebody's
it looks so
bathtub.
Sleek. You know someone, if that's real, they took pictures and they enhanced. But boy, that thing looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
Good for that.
I think these are renderings. I don't think they're... man, it's... No, look...
Well, there's a video. I'm clicking on the video to see. Does it look like it's a yacht, a little
it's a
model?
It's a concept.
It's a concept.
Ready-to-build concept. It costs... They're saying 200 million British pounds. I think it's close enough to the dollar. $200 million, something like that. It has got... the IMAX theater I said about. It also has a diplomatic-grade secure meeting environment and a military-grade panic room.
Did you see the spiral staircase?
Yeah.
The rendering of that? Boy, that is nice. Good for that. Again, you don't want to own this. You want to be the friend of someone who owns this. A good friend. You don't want to pay for this thing?
This is how poor I am. I was trying to figure out what I'd do with it. And that just tells you how poor I am. Because if you have this level of money, you know exactly what you do with your super yacht. I'm just like, what would I do with a yacht?
Well, people who have this much money, this isn't your home. You still have many homes. You buy this for a tax thing. You're just using it every so often. It's docked somewhere, and it's almost like a business tool. Like here, let's make this deal. Come aboard my yacht.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I want on it. I mean, granted, most of my boating experience has not been at this level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I think of owning a boat, I think of a lot of things that the owner of this yacht does not deal with.
I got a kayak.
You got to strap it to your car. I mean, you got to drive over there.
It has no spiral staircase. It's a one-story kayak. It's a ranch.
It's a ranch.
That's all I got.
I don't know. Like,
it looks good.
And then I feel like I would have to pay a bunch of models to hang out on it. And not being sexist, men and women, because this looks like you need a bunch of really young, beautiful people and then one wrinkly old guy on it.
Oh, the captain?
No, the owner.
There's the owner.
He's the only one that could afford it.
Well, it's a concept. It is a ready to build. So if you want a super yacht, then they're saying the Ultra 2 is the answer.
Nikki, if I made you ultra wealthy, like crazy wealthy,
would I buy this?
What is, like, to you, what? Because for some people, owning a yacht like that would be like, that's...
No, see, I think I would...
Like, what do you think you would...
I wonder if I would be different. I think I would just want one home, unless they're like, no, you must diverse your portfolio.
Yeah.
I think I would just want one beach home, like maybe on an island that maybe I own. Maybe it's a small enough one. But if not, I just want that. This seems like a lot of care.
The thing that I would end up doing is I would go into... Oh, man. I wouldn't build a boat, but I'd probably just buy, those computers that take up whole rooms?
You want one of those?
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Something.
Well, you got to have a house to put
Play
that
Fortnite.
in. Oh, my gosh. You need to think
Put
bigger
in
than
8K.
How about you think bigger? You would own Fortnite.
I know. See, that's what I said. I'm poor. This is a poor man's
Change your
dreams.
thinking, all right?
You got to start thinking bigger.
Well, interesting. They say they've already received some interest from individuals and some brokerage firms. So I guess maybe they'll get an order soon.
We could rent this thing out on the weekends.
Oh, gosh, no. I don't even want to know what it is to rent it.
Do they have boat B&B?
They
Is that
probably
a thing?
could.
I'll bet there is.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Okay, walk with me down this line of thinking. most of the stuff that you want in your life, like you want something like, let's say you want a PlayStation 5, and it's either that you can't get it because they're not available or you can't afford it. So, like, there's something in your way to getting a PlayStation 5.
Sure.
So, all of a sudden, I make you Superyacht rich, as we were discussing a few moments ago, and there is now no longer any barrier between you and what you want. You can have whatever you want.
You're so wealthy that you don't need to wait for it to be back in stock.
Right.
So
most of us spend our days and nights convinced that happiness or joy or like whatever is just a financial boon away. Like, I just need enough money to get the thing that's going to make me happy. That's why I'm fascinated by people that are actually very wealthy, because what you begin to realize is they can have anything they want, and then they're set loose in the hell of their own desire, which is you reach an end. You start to realize, wait, I can have anything I want, and nothing I want satisfies me. So we can actually learn a ton from that. I mean, listen, I'm telling you, it would take me a while to get to the nothing I want. It would take me a while to get there.
Sure.
But I mean, look, even if you go back in history and look at ancient kings or whatever, they all reach a point where they have everything they want, and it's like a nightmare for them because they're like, wait, what's left? What is there? And I feel like what we can learn from them is you and I don't have to spend our lives running after stuff. We can actually learn. And so at that point, what do you do? Right? Where do you turn? And that, I think, even though you and I will probably never end up in that situation, that's where people have to turn to God, because you have to find out if there's more to this life or not. And the answer is yes. What I'm trying to say is you and I could skip a lot of steps. We could skip the materialism. We could skip the slaving our lives away for money. We could skip all these things and get straight to the things that matter and learn some lessons from those who came before and were ultra rich. We can find meaning and joy and something worthwhile today where we are. And that's what Jesus offers. He does not offer a super yacht, though I'm sure somebody somewhere has one that has Jesus too. But he will show us how to live, how to find something that is worthwhile and worth hanging on to, and quite frankly, something that will last beyond the confines of this mortal coil. You know what I'm saying? If you want a relationship with him, if you want to start finding something that's more than this stuff, you could just say, Jesus, I want to start right here, right now. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit, and I want you to show me a different way to live, because I'm living for a yacht right now and I need something better. God hears you. He knows what's going on, and he's going to help you.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
The big news yesterday was HBO Max. So you're like, who cares about HBO Max? I know, I used to be like you. Now I watch it all the time. I hate myself.
Well, even if you don't watch it all the time, I feel like we're going to be forced to, or we will be more willing to, starting with the Wonder Woman at Christmas. And then what their announcement was, you're like, well, I bet I'll probably have this next year then.
They dropped the free trial. So if you're like, I'm hanging on to my free trial, I do that to Hulu.
It's not happening.
I hang on to my free month until they release something I like, use the free month, then cancel Hulu. Well, they have eliminated their free trial. And Wonder Woman 1984, 4K, all the trimmings, streaming on HBO Max Christmas Day.
For 1 month.
But then they announced that next year they are going to be doing simultaneous theatrical and HBO Max releases of their entire theatrical movie list.
The whole list.
So
for 21.
The Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat.
I forgot that one was coming.
I actually forgot that was a thing too.
The new Dune. People were interested on that one. You were interested on that.
That was the one that got me. I was just like, wait, what? You mean Dune is just going to be like, it'll just be there? What? And I can just keep watching it? What? There was that, and then the Suicide Squad comes out next year.
Yeah.
That is, what's-his-face that made the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
He's over at DC making himself the Suicide Squad. So
they're saying Godzilla versus Kong will also go out. Yeah,
what?
That one too. The new Space Jam movie, Tom and Jerry.
And it's probably good for Tom and Jerry.
There's a bunch of others that I don't necessarily remember what they are.
Malignant, Those Who Wish Me Dead, In the Heights. I mean, I don't know what that is.
There's a ton of them. So the plan is it'll follow the exact way that Wonder Woman's coming out. So it'll be 1 month in the United States only.
Oh, okay.
U.S. only. I don't even know if HBO Max, like what its setup is worldwide, but
I don't know.
They still want theater stuff to be international to still get enough money that way.
Yeah.
So that's why they're willing to do this. So HBO Max, 1 month in theaters in the United States worldwide and on HBO Max for 1 month. Then it goes away and it'll still stay in theaters and then it'll be released like its normal stuff later on.
Well, I can tell you this. I absolutely will see Dune in theaters. Probably.
You say that now, but maybe you wouldn't. Maybe this would be just fine.
I love going to movie theaters. I do. But the idea is like, do you want to go to the theater or do you just want to go home? You've got a nice TV, which I do. I mean, is my surround sound system as good? Is my screen as good as I would get at a theater? No. But it's pretty
close.
Pretty good.
If you made some mods like before then, like you just get some theater carpet in there, get a popcorn machine.
Something.
Like you'd be perfectly fine. But then here comes all the movie theaters that were extremely upset about this announcement, including AMC.
Hey, I don't blame them. Their stocks yesterday took a sharp dive. And, man... You know what I do? I like going to the movies. I like watching movies at home, but I like going to theaters. And I, at first, was not. But as this drags on, I'm starting to wonder, what's going to happen to movie theaters?
Well, in our area, there are quite a few theaters that are still opening, but some are closing down, not just because of... there's no movies to show anymore. They're just closing down because that's it. It's been a long time since they've been open.
There was one theater that closed, but that place smelled like Lysol and vomit.
A new company
bought a really long time.
A new company bought that, so they're going to still be a theater.
Really?
It's just going to be a different company.
Gateway bought it, didn't they?
No,
Those people?
some company out of state.
Okay, well, whatever.
But it's hard. We don't have movies, new ones. I mean, you can only go see classic movies so often, but there's not a lot of new stuff. So it's hard to go into theaters. You feel bad for theaters, but then also it's so nice at home. It's really nice. I would like to see all these at home.
That's the tough thing is hey, do you want to make the effort to go to the theater? It's not that much effort, but it's more effort than hitting play on your Roku.
This will be easier. So
that's the part that's tough.
So that's what's the big announcement was yesterday. And there's lots that go along with it. We'll see if any other studios make any other similar plans for their releases for 21 and then also what theaters will do.
Now I'm just dude, you got 10 movies, drop them. Give me that Godzilla versus King Kong right now.
They won't postpone anymore. They got to start sending out some of these big movies they've been waiting on.
Come on.
Yeah.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's face it, you come home, you basically take everything out of your pockets and start charging them immediately. You got to get your phone, any other wearables, your glasses, your watch, maybe your keychain. I don't know. Everything's got to get charged up. So
your AirPods, your
headphones, right?
Your portable gaming consoles, whatever you've been carrying around that day.
How about one more thing to charge? How about a Life Bee?
I haven't seen this before.
It's a vest that you wear, but it's a heated vest.
Yeah.
So what you do is you plug it in, USB, it charges up, and then you get, let's see, did you see a time on here as to how long it would last?
I will keep looking, but it says it has 5 heating elements, so it makes it even throughout the jacket. It's like a vest, so there's front, bottom. There's 2 of those. There's one behind your, your neck and your back, and then 2 behind you. So yeah, there's 5 heating elements.
The problem I see with this, when I look at it, those heating elements look like what you put in an oven.
But they're not. I think that's just for the design of the picture.
I know, but it feels like you're going to put this thing on. they're going to turn the oven on, and then you're not going to be able to get it off, and they're going to slow bake you. And the aliens are like, dinner should be ready in about 5 hours.
They say that it looks like it can heat for 12 hours consistently. And it can be powered, like you could just use a power bank or something and just recharge it anytime you want to.
Sure. So throw that in your pocket. You've got a lot.
You've got a heavy thing you're wearing. The control system for the heating can heat. There's like a 1-button start, 3 heating levels. You've got a high, a medium, and a low, and they'll have different efficiencies and intensities at certain times.
So they say, according to their marketing materials, that one of these is equal to 5 layers of clothing.
Yeah.
So that's how that's working.
And if you worked outside, this would be amazing. But outside of that, like, is that something you want? I don't think I want it in the car, but I don't spend enough time in between my car to walk. I don't know if I would need something like it.
No, this is not for you and I.
But if you were always cold, this could be helpful. If you were just that type of person who was always freezing.
Yeah.
Or if you
would you
had
wear it inside?
Actually, it'd be nice if you had any back problems, and then, like heating would be nice to soothe it. That would be good too, but it's just a vest.
All right. I feel like, okay, like the hotness was that they had, they keep putting out like limited edition, like quote unquote power laces shoes, like in that Back to the Future movie where, it electrically ties your shoes or makes it fit your feet. I think it might just be my fear of the malfunction.
Nothing's going to happen. I don't think anything. If you look, there's
even
tons of...
God couldn't sink this ship.
Well, there we go. No, the answer is that there's so many of them. We're just looking at one, but there's clothing. There's like the main brands, and then there's even off brands. So, this has been around a while. I think it's tested. I think it's fine.
I feel like this one that you and I are looking at right now is one of the knockoffs that's made in I don't even know where.
I'm looking at a coat that's $200. It looks nice. That's getting more expensive.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, maybe this is what we need. This will keep us active in the winter. We'll go outside more.
I don't want to be hot. I'd rather add later. I don't like being too hot. I'd rather be colder.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you're going to go on those Arctic expeditions looking for the polar bears.
I also don't think we're in the right area. If you're in an area where it's way, 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 way colder, this would be perfect for you.
Yeah, it's true.
I found my way on a lot of TikToks, like for Churchill and places in Canada where it's like it's so cold they have to leave their car plugged in.
Yes.
And this would be perfect for those areas.
Oh, I don't want to live there.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on Radio U.
There's all this Lord of the Rings chatter, and I can't help but feel that it's directed at me.
Just because Obi's interested in the Lord of the Rings 4K set that was just unveiled, and it's there, but he's going to wait till after Christmas.
Yeah, because he's good.
Well, there's something else you can also invest in, I guess, or maybe we're not big enough stars to be a part of this initiative, but it's actually kind of neat. So I guess then Northmore is the house where Tolkien wrote The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So they're doing something called Project Northmore. Apparently, they've been given about 3 months before this house goes on sale. They're trying to raise enough support and money to buy Tolkien's former home to create a Tolkien library center in his memory.
Okay, so what would be the idea? That it would be a library?
Pretty much. And then that way you could, I assume, would go and be able to learn more about Tolkien and see where he wrote this stuff. So there's certain stars that are putting money towards it to try to purchase the house, and that does include Sir Ian McKellen and Martin Freeman from Lord of the Rings.
John Rhys Davies, who was Gimli, and singer Annie Lennox.
It's not just Lord of the Rings people, but I think, wasn't she involved with music?
I think she did one of the songs. So like one of those Elven verses that you hear and you're like, that's so neat. I think she's one of those.
So it's basically a crowdfunding campaign to purchase the property and then make it into the library center.
Oh, that's cool. And Nikki, it's time for me I got to revisit. I read Lord of the Rings 2 years ago. I think it was, enjoyed it enormously. Maybe it's time to go back and read it again.
Could be.
It's so good. The sentence structure is Magnificent.
So they're trying to raise support. So some of the stars did a video as well to talk about the importance of the house. And it costs a lot because it's on one of the most expensive streets in Oxford.
Good
so
for
it's
him.
not just that the home, because of its meaning, is
Right.
expensive, but someone could come in and just buy the house because of its prime location. And they don't want someone to come in, change it, or build something else. They want it to remain what it is.
I get that. So there it is. You can donate. I don't want them to take this the wrong way. It's kind of like when my college would call and be like, hey, you want to donate? And I'm like, no, because I'm still paying off loans. I'm not donating while I'm paying off my loans. So I'll tell you what, as soon as I buy a house, I will help them buy the Tolkien estate.
Well, they're hoping that the celebrity stuff will also be more than enough to maybe help out. But I think others can just give. They just think that the Tolkien theme of the home, they don't want it to be turned into anything else. They want to keep it as a library of sorts, or just a place in memory of him.
Yeah. Well, again, if you want to contribute, Google it, because I don't have a website right now.
So you can if you want, but that's what they're trying to do, which I thought was nice.
Worst of the riot. Radio U.
It's time to jump into some first world problems here. So Immortals Phoenix Rising comes out today.
That's game?
The game. It's out on like everything. It's even out on the Switch today. So, I mean, like if you want it and you've got something that plugs in, you can probably play it. PS4, Xbox, Switch, PC, PS5, Xbox One, Series 3000, whatever. Like all that stuff. And I went ahead, I did a trade.
Yeah.
And my copy is waiting. I've actually pre-ordered it. And I basically did that because I knew the game I had was going to be worth less and less no matter what. So I just had to chuck it at some point. But reviews for this Immortals thing have been pretty good. They're saying that it's a lot like The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, yeah, because every time I've seen stuff on it, they always add that.
Yeah, they're like, it looks like Zelda.
The press department's really been hitting that one hard.
They have. It's true.
They hope you mistake it and go ahead and get it. And you're like, yeah, it looks like a new Zelda.
You know what, though? One of the most exciting things that I heard about it, and again, this is some first world problems here. So I got a PlayStation 5, which was great, and I bought a couple of games with it that I've been waiting to play. I picked up Ghost of Tsushima, I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and there were a bunch of games that came with it if you're a PS Plus member, and I don't even remember, like Days Gone and a few others that I've wanted to play. The problem with every single one of those games is they're like, yeah. You get started, it's like 100 hours. And man, that's crazy. I just when I start thinking about the idea of I'm going to have to to get through this, I'm going to have to invest. I'm going to have take days off. I'm going to have to cancel social commitments.
I'm going to have
to. Okay, that's
You've
true.
You've got plenty of time.
That's
I think that's
true.
why they're really banking on it. You got plenty of time to put in it towards it this Christmas.
They were saying, or at least the thing I watched last night, they say this game is about 25 hours.
Yeah, that'd be fine. You can do that.
That sounds like a game that I could sit down and play and over a couple of weeks play through.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
That'd be good.
Whereas this other stuff, I'm just like, well, if I work now, by June, I should be ready to play something else.
Don't think about the 100 hours. Just think about, the time you'll enjoy.
Crazy. I don't know. That's what I feel like. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 2 years. I have on and off.
But does
DLC
that make you appreciate it more because you can put in years with it?
Absolutely. But that's the thing. When I look at Valhalla, I'm like, man, I feel like I just got in a long-term relationship. I was so excited at the beginning, but now my commitment phobia is kicking in, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to get out.
Don't panic.
They're wanting to know what I'm doing on Friday and Saturday. It's not their business.
Don't break up, okay? It's fine.
It's a lot, and a lot of pressure out there, and I'm just feeling it.
So when are you going to start the new game? What was it called again?
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, when you
I got a thing tonight, so probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, Nikki, tomorrow I'm not doing anything.
You're not?
I'm not even doing laundry.
Well, this is big stuff.
I'll tell you, the most work I plan on doing is pushing a button on a controller and opening a bag of chips.
There's college football, too, so you could do that. And then the game, enjoy it with the Christmas tree.
Ohio State is actually going to play tomorrow.
What if you made some Christmas cookies?
Nope, see, that's work.
Okay. No, you don't have to make them. You just buy them.
I'll go buy them somewhere, but I'm not doing,
anything else. Nothing at all.
I am going to be in a coma. Kind of.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Hi, guys. How you doing? Good? It's Friday.
Aren't we all glad?
Aren't you glad?
Yes.
It's Friday. I'm glad that it's Friday, too. I really, really want to have Friday. Nikki, did you bring your mask today? Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it right over there.
Okay.
We have plexiglass in front of us, so we don't have to wear it while we're on air. And Obi had COVID already, so we're good. We're good here.
So are you going to, you going to wear your mask today? Or are you going to?
Yeah, I always wear it.
Okay. Because here's what's happening. I was thinking maybe for the next 30 days, you don't wear it.
Well, I don't think that I can go anywhere.
Because President-elect Biden says that when he becomes president, during his inaugural address,
yes,
he will be asking all Americans to wear a mask for 100 days.
Now, help me understand some of this, because it's all about the wording. So he's going to be asking, but not making, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
And I thought we were already being asked anyways, or it just depends on your area.
Now we're being asked by the president, or we will be.
Okay. Because, I guess it's true. If you go to Florida, I don't think they're still, required, but a lot of people still do. But it probably really does depend on where you're at.
Florida is it's the last vestige of liberty. They're just do what you want. We don't care. Welcome to the drain.
I was thinking about this when I saw that last night. I think we need to redo our approach on, if we want everybody to wear a mask, we have to get everyday people to start asking people to wear masks instead of politicians, presidents, and Hollywood and famous people.
So you're saying if you see something, say something? Call the police on your neighbors?
No, I mean it's not with everybody, but sometimes when certain people tell us what to do, their approach seems a bit more they can because they're so much better than everybody else. Or
right.
I'm not looking at,
the mayor of Austin?
It's hard. And then I think people's automatic reaction are well, I don't want to because you're telling me what to do.
Well, yeah.
But instead, if it was just more normal, everyday people just asking each other, just hey, can we make sure we do wear that? Maybe we'll take it better.
Nikki, that's a great idea. Everybody that's in favor of masking, head out into public today. And if you see someone not wearing a mask, make sure you say something to them.
Wrong. I meant in the advertising campaign.
Excuse me, sir.
Nope,
don't you care about your neighbors?
Never mind. Because you're right. We wouldn't do it in the right way.
Well, you really should put your mask on today.
No, I don't mean it that way. I don't know how else to say it, though.
You guys report back on Monday.
I don't mean it in the mean way that some of us can do it. I just mean in a very low-key sort of, if they were making the address or that was what you saw, maybe it would come better than from, a lot of politicians that they're telling us what to do, and then they themselves are not even doing it.
Well, I don't know about that.
Never mind.
I just know at the inauguration, supposedly, that is what the president-elect, then president, will be saying, is that you should wear masks.
Right.
And then I imagine once the inauguration is over, the former president will probably just be running around without a mask, breathing in people's faces.
Well, how long does he have the antibodies?
Oh, yeah, he had
it.
I forgot
so
about that.
That is.
So he's kind of okay.
That is okay with that.
Okay. Well, there you go, Nikki. Just get ready because, the president's going to ask nicely.
The more, it doesn't matter. Just.
Nikki's the more authority you have, the more I will fight you.
No, I wear mine, but I can understand if someone has that response.
Oh, I have that response.
Because I have that response with everything else.
My response is, are you telling me to do something? Either you can't tell me what to do, or I'll do it if you'll just leave me alone.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Man, I have seen this story pop up everywhere, but I just don't feel like it's real. And that is the story of a man in Taiwan, Jin Wu. who says that he bought a PlayStation 5, and when his wife asked him what it was, he told her it was an air purifier.
Oh, everybody sent this. Yeah. Everybody sent this along.
It's like, come on. It's not real.
And then they got mad.
Right? So he said, well, no, I'm actually saying this wrong. He's saying that he's the one that bought it from the husband, this guy.
Sure.
So, like, he met this guy and bought it, and this guy told him his story. And his story was, my wife is making me selling this because it's not an air
purifier like she thought it was.
The funny thing is, there are photos out there of this air purifier that does look like a PlayStation 5. Like, it legit looks like one. So, you know. There it is.
So the wife allegedly made him sell his PlayStation after realizing what it was.
I don't buy it.
You don't?
I don't think it's real. I mean, I believe that a man posted that on Facebook. Yes, that I believe.
But the Taiwan News is reporting it. What do you mean?
The Taiwan News. Which is not to say that they're not capable of reporting news. Sure they are. But for all I know, this is coming from Taiwan News, which is their version of The Onion.
Sure.
We don't know. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel real.
So a few more details about it is this guy who was the one who was buying it from the couple,
right?
Said that he had agreed to pay and buy the PlayStation 5 from the seller. He had called the individual, the guy on the phone, and then that's when the wife picked up and had a conversation with the wife. She didn't know much about the PlayStation. She just wanted to sell it and get it out, which is why it was supposedly at such a low price. And that's why it became news, because she didn't realize what she was doing.
Oh, so she didn't know. She sold it for less than it was worth.
That's why it was, everybody's like, well, is this a scam or whatever? And she just wanted it out because she felt, probably lied to because it's not an air purifier.
Well, and hey, just a heads up, from now on, the stories like this that are featured in marketplace listings, you're definitely getting ripped off.
I know. Anytime someone has such a big story when they're selling to you, it's usually they stole it and it's a lie and they're just filling the space up to try to make it seem convincing. But with this, he said when he met the guy to buy it, it was an older gentleman, a middle-aged man. And when asked, like, hey, why are you selling something that's so in demand for such a price? He said he was quiet and he just said his wife wants to sell it. So that's what it was. So if it's real or not, I feel like it's one of those stories that if it was made up, it's like trying to teach us a lesson or something. Like, be honest. I don't know.
Don't lie to your wife. Is the lesson believe people when they're selling something on Facebook? Is it like, what's the lesson?
I think more like be honest with your partner.
Okay.
So if you're buying a PlayStation and it's not an air filter.
I think that would be rough. Like, I don't know. Like, you always hear stories about, like, my wife hates me doing this or doing that. I don't know what I would do. Like, if my wife hated it, I probably wouldn't do it. But then, like, what if she hated something you really liked? Ooh.
Well, you'd still sell it, apparently, according to this story.
Well, I feel like this man has been bludgeoned.
I know. You could tell it was...
At least verbally.
It was something, but I was like, why are you selling? Because it's still in demand even there.
Oh, dude, you can't... They're in demand everywhere.
The Riot Radio U.
Nikki, when's the last time you commented on a YouTube video?
I've only commented on our own RadioU Riot on YouTube. Thank you. And if someone comments on our video, I'll comment back, but never like personally, just through Riot.
I have tried to get in the habit of the stuff that I like. I've got people I follow on YouTube. I try to get in the habit of remembering to like their videos.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I watch YouTube on my Apple TV from my couch, and it is not as...
You're not commenting there.
I'm not. And it's not as quick as, like, just touch the screen for a like. You've got to, like, hit it. You got to go through a couple steps to get the like button there.
Sure.
And I've been trying to do that. It's a small thing, but... They do it, and I thought, it'd be nice.
If they see a positive reinforcement, a positive support.
This may shock you. People on YouTube can be really mean. I've had a couple of people post videos of me from things we've done, and I don't think anybody's ever said anything nice about me.
Oh, that's not true.
No, on our stuff,
yes.
Sure.
Oh, but you mean Obi had one video that became really viral, and no one is nice on a viral video.
Well, and another one I had was I had a Flyleaf interview I did.
Yeah.
It was one of their first TV interviews that someone posted separately. And boy, the comment section was very mean.
Everything was out of context with it, and it just wasn't.
There was an element
taken
of
right.
The poor commenters, like, clearly didn't understand what I was saying. So it's a whole thing.
People, or what we're saying is, if I think the ratio of mean to nice comments on a YouTube video is probably going to lean more towards mean, but I think there are things now that you can create for filters so that you hopefully don't see as much. But then if you're deleting mean comments, people will tend to call you out on that.
Now, Nikki, YouTube wants to stop some of this toxic behavior.
Sure.
So apparently we don't know exactly what they're using as a filter, but before you post something on YouTube, if its filters think that it could be offensive, it will actually now ask you, here's the direct quote, is this something you really want to share?
That's a great idea. Aw. So you might need a little gentle reminder before you hit post. Is it nice enough what you're saying?
So they're saying that they want to give people the option to reflect before posting.
So the tool will not actually stop people from posting.
It won't.
That will not. The prompts won't appear before every comment, but you're right. It will appear before one that if YouTube's system deems it offensive, which is based on content that's been repeatedly reported, if the prompt does appear, you can post the comment or you get an additional time to edit the comment there.
Might not be so bad. Take a little time and
rethink what you're saying.
Be nice.
So they're also, for creators, or if you use YouTube a lot, they're also saying that they're rolling out a better content filtering system for YouTube Studio, which is where you manage a channel. It'll seek out inappropriate or hurtful comments that were automatically flagged and hold for review and remove them so you don't have to read them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? It's nice. Take some time.
Yeah.
And not just on YouTube, but think about this. But while you're online today and you're getting ready to post something, think, do I really need to say this?
Well, I think what's also nice is this is trying to help protect the creators. Because a lot of times with filter stuff, you still see the comments and then you can delete it. Oh. So what's hurtful has already happened to you, whether it's been posted publicly or not. But you're still seeing mean things if you're a content creator.
Sure.
Filtering and deleting and holding certain comments that are not nice.
I actually have, there for a while, I volunteered for a friend of mine and just ran interference for her, where basically it was like, okay, I will moderate your comments so you don't have to see.
Yeah, because that does
stuff.
damage. That does just as enough damage.
Yeah. And you know what? They weren't even talking about me, and it still was soul-sucking to read through just how nasty people could be.
Well, be nice. Let's try a little harder with that.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Man, they found another monolith.
The big metal statue thing that's been around in different places.
Don't you wish they were something cool? You know they're not.
It's just a thing. It's probably going to be like some sort of statement piece later on.
I think it's going to be worse than that.
What do you think?
It's going to be an energy drink.
It'll be like some sort of advertising campaign. Yeah.
That's all it is. It's coming. They're going to be like, yeah, the mysteries of the universe in the desert. Drink our energy drink and be connected.
Because nothing is actually going to be mysterious and like really secretive. It's just something that's created to be that way. So you're right. It's probably some sort of campaign for something that's going to be unveiled.
It's a bummer, right? I mean, just to be clear, I wish it was. I wish it was something that was like truly awesome and it was going to change the world and it was going to lead to this discovery of all these technologies so we could finally have flying cars and, buildings that are 1 million feet tall and space elevators and interstellar travel.
No.
And it was going to cure cancer. And it's not.
Nah, it's probably just going to be Bang or something.
It's going to be something that, if consumed too often, causes cancer.
Oh, no. Don't. Everybody just has maybe their little energy drink. That's all they have. And you look what you did. And I think it's heart problems first. I think that.
Well, it starts somewhere.
If it starts to cause your heart to flutter, you should be worried.
I just know I keep seeing all these things and I'm just like, man, guys, no, there's nothing here. I wish there was. I'd be the first one on board. Like, take me to your leader. But
I think everybody is so wanting to have something else happen besides all the COVID and all the holiday stuff around it that I think that's why this story about these things have taken off.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Because it's something else besides everything else.
Well, I hope that it is the aliens and that there's something awesome at the end of the rainbow, but we know that it's just going to be
maybe it's
new
a new
rainbow-flavored
Skittles.
bang. or Skittles,
It's
yeah.
Skittles.
They're adding a silver Skittle.
Could be a new Oreo thing.
Whoa!
I feel like if it is a part of an advertising campaign, it's not going to be any major company. It feels like it'd be the either the existing or the up and coming sort of like, we're the new one in town and we're willing to do something like this.
Well,
It's not going to be like Pepsi or Coke.
well, it's one of those things, like, if that is what it is, it's pretty good marketing because, I mean, it's been covered by every major news outlet in the universe. And so, see what I did there?
I did.
Universe.
There is.
And so the interstellar launch of that new Skittles color it's gonna be huge.
Could be.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I have this baby Skeletor on my shirt. Why can't it tell me what it needs?